Hello, hello! Welcome to Tallinn in Estonia. This is part 3 of our Scandinavia and Baltics cruise, and today we are exploring the old town here in Tallinn. I'm going to tell you how we can get from the ship to the city itself, and what you want to see while you're here. It was quite a busy day here in the port. We had the Crystal Serenity on one side, this Oceania cruise pulling up just next to us, and then on our other side we also had the Celebrity Eclipse. It's nice to see all these different ships, but it does make you realise that the city is going to be pretty busy. As you come out of the terminal, you can turn right and walk up this jetty to get a good shot of the ships and have a look at the back of all of them. And of course, you've got to get your obligatory Tallinn picture with the sign. We decided to walk on this day, and it's a fairly easy, flat 20-minute walk to get there. You can get the tram, there's a stop just outside. You can use the ship shuttle as well, and of course you've got the hop-on, hop-off bus tours which operate everywhere practically. It's a pretty easy route to follow, and there's inevitably going to be a lot of other people going that way, but you come across this medieval gate entrance to the city, and if you carry on walking around to the left a bit further, you'll come across this one instead. Either way, you need to make sure you see both, but we carried on through the first entrance here. The old town here is one of Northern Europe's best preserved medieval cities, and it's a World Heritage Site, so it was really cool to just be able to walk through those medieval gates and start to see some of the architecture and the buildings that you come across. There are other side roads and paths that you can take along the way, which I'm sure will lead you to lovely buildings and other things to see, but we were heading straight along the main road that we came in on until we get to this point where a couple of different roads converge, and this is quite a nice area with a few nice buildings around it, but we're going to be turning left and heading down towards the main square here, where we come across the town hall in the middle. I love these quirky drainpipe endings, I think they are. The serpent with the crown on, they look pretty cool. This is a really beautiful, big, busy square with lots of bars and restaurants around the outside, and I think it would be a great place to come and have a drink and spend a bit of time just watching people go by. We headed out the opposite side of the square that we'd come in from, and we were going towards the St. Nicholas Church, a museum. I looked up what this was on Google Maps and did the translation, and it says Installation Christmas Tree. I can't guarantee that's entirely accurate. This is the Cross of Liberty and the monument to the War of Independence, and it's located here in Freedom Square, opposite the Church of St. John. Obviously I've anglicised a lot of these names because I would butcher them otherwise. Up the steps behind the monument, you've got a nice little fountain, another Tallinn sign, a good view over the more modern side of the city, and up here you also have the museum for the fortifications. This would have been quite interesting to do, but we didn't really have time on this day as there was lots more to see. As you head up through the steps just beyond the fortress walls, you can start to see the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, which is a really impressive looking building and really ornate, and it was actually pretty busy if you wanted to try and get in. Moving on from there, we were on the lookout for a viewing platform which gives you a nice view over the old city. And then... no, that's not the one. Try again. This looks a bit more promising. You can see by how many people here, there's going to be a good view. And yeah, that's much better. What a beautiful view over the whole city and over to the cruise port and the ferry ports in the background, and then the more modern end of the city over on the right hand side. We nearly got swept away by this group on a tour. I'm sure they weren't from our ship though. We started to make our way down through this small alleyway, and we were going to head down the hill towards the main square again. But behind us there was a gate, and we headed up to just explore what was in there and found the Danish King's Garden. What it's doing here in Tallinn, in Estonia, I'm not entirely sure, but a quick search does tell me that this is where the Danish flag was born. So apparently every year on the 15th of June they have a flag celebration here. This area is said to be one of the most haunted places in Tallinn, with certain apparitions of monks being seen, and that's why they've got these faceless statues here. They are of the monks that supposedly haunt these gardens. This is the backside of the St. Nicholas Church that we saw earlier on our way up towards the steps. And we're just inside the city walls where I said to you earlier that the museum was there. So this is the other side of the museum, and you can obviously walk across part of the walls here, which looks pretty cool, and I can imagine the views from there are even more spectacular. We carried on down the alleyway we'd been walking down earlier and came back towards the other side of the St. Nicholas Church. By this time, as I'm sure you can imagine, we were parched. We needed a drink, a sit down, and something to eat. So we headed for a bar that our friends had been to the last time they were here to get some beers and some food. This place was just called Beer House, and it looks and felt just very medieval. It was amazing. Some nice local beers, and yep, sip happens. The food here was really nice and set us up for probably not too much of a longer walk, but heading back to the ship shortly. The road we were on there headed back down to the main square again, so we took another look around and then headed round the other side of the town hall to the back of the spire, and this was going to lead us down towards the other entrance gate that I showed you at the start of the video. This is another quite busy area and a few nice bars and restaurants around here, and this place was quite unusual, I thought. From here I would say it was about a 30-minute walk back to the ship, as it is a little bit further out than the gate that we came into at the beginning, but it's well worth seeing and worth the extra walk. With a beautiful sunset accompanying us out of Estonia, we head for Sweden. Thank you for watching this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel for more, and why not watch one of these videos next.